Let's see what happens over here. Let's do one of those live streams, you know what I'm saying? So whoever pulls up here first, you're gonna let me know how things sound. What does stuff sound like out there in fancy pants land? Whoops. Don't want to show that. What's up there, fancy pants land? Is the stream even public? That's the question. Probably it's not. Hold on. There we go. We're on unlisted. Public. Let's remove some of this stuff from the description. Oh my god, sorry guys, this is so unprofessional. I'm altering the stream on the same window that I'm streaming. There we go, that looks a little bit better, doesn't it? Now I know why people have like 4 monitors. So let's see what we got going on over here. Does that mean I'm going to have to... That looks fine, hold on. I'm doing this while live, imagine that. There we go. Boom. You see that? Alright, type something in the chat, guys. Whoever's there, type in the chat, please. I want to see if I can see your message. This is basically a test live stream right here. A test live stream. Not to trade while streaming, just a test live stream. Alright, well I've got my thing on this side. I'm going to actually drag it there. Oh, perfect. I see you guys typing in the chat. Thank you so much. It means a lot. How about that, huh? David, you have no photo. There we go. K has a K photo. That's pretty cool. Is that Tick Strike? No. I've heard of Tick Strike. I use Price Squawk. It does the same thing like Tick Strike. I'm not trading right now. I just thought I would do a live stream here. And I know we're looking at live markets. But I'm just hanging out. Actually, I was configuring something on my platform really quickly here, but we're going to take a look at what the markets have been up to in a minute here. I'm just waiting to see if we can actually get any viewers in the stream. So far, there's 3 of you apparently. And that's the story. So if you guys have any, you know, questions you want to ask me, go ahead. Now's the time, you know. While I configure this indicator here to appear properly on my DOM. Yeah, that's what it's all about. So I really need an OBS here. You know what? I'm actually realizing I don't have enough screen space for all this stuff. The running the stream, running the charts and everything, and all this at once. All right, so I'm gonna explain to you what I've got going here really quickly. So I had the idea of coming up with a way of displaying some info on my DOM. You can see right here, look at this, look at these green labels that are displaying on my DOM that are moving around. You see that? That's what I'm working on right now. So what I've essentially done is my goal is to show, I want to show on my DOM in a very easily visually displayable way where the majority of last trading has been happening in the last 30 seconds, for example. And I'm playing with it in terms of time frame and all that stuff, but basically it's just going to be a quick way of filtering out where value is in the market right now. And that's one of the things that I use in my own trading. For scalping, you need to know where the market is valued at if you plan to buy it low or sell it high, right? So that's kind of how I work. Normally I determine value just simply by looking at where the market is trading, but a lot of times value could be shifting and it's not always very obvious where it is in any moment. And in those moments, something like this could kind of give you a little bit of help. So I'm kind of configuring this just to work on this. By any chance, do you explore or use Elliott Wave? No, I do not. I have not. I have heard of it, but I do not use Elliott Wave. I don't know anything about it. So let's continue fixing this here. So are we on the second screen? Okay, yeah, we are. Okay, we're on the second screen. All right, so here, this is what I've done. You guys saw in my first chart there where I was overlaying those things on my DOM. Well, what I've actually done is I have this chart right here that I'm using to overlay that volume by price study with the labels onto my DOM and Sierra chart. And so in order to fix how it's displayed on my DOM and Sierra charts, I need to adjust it right here. So right now I'm just gonna adjust basically how this is being visually displayed, and I'm gonna change the visual aspect so I don't have these weird dots on my screen. So I'm gonna try changing that to a line, maybe a dotted line. Let's see, just to kind of make it less apparent. The point of control, interesting. Okay, it's still set to a point. And the problem is you can't hide it either, because then it won't show on the DOM itself. So let's see what you guys are saying. No. Yeah, thanks, dude. Cheers. Display name and value in data region line. I think this will all be fine here. All I'm trying to do is get rid of these ugly lines that are showing up on the side of my DOM here. These ugly little lines, I'm trying to get rid of them. So I'm gonna figure that out at some point today. Maybe if I ignore the draw style, let's see. Yeah, see, if I do that, then they disappear off the DOM completely. They disappear off the DOM completely. So you guys, let me know what's happening with you. We only got 5 people watching. My stream is not popular. I'm not popular. I like it that way, actually. I like it that way. Okay, so on the main price graph here, it seems to be displaying pretty all right. Pretty all right. However, there's something that's bothering me about these little dots that are showing up next to my DOM. So that's something I'm trying to work on right now. Volume bars are based on highlight value area. Value area percentage is 69. That's perfect. That means that when I turn it on the pivots on my DOM, they'll be displaying that. So watch. Let's try that just for fun. Ah, that seems to work. Yeah, that seems to work pretty nice. I don't see any noise on the side of my DOM there. Really learned a lot from your tutorial videos, especially those about tape reading. Hope you can see more in the future. Thanks, man, for the kind words. Alright, so what? I'm not displaying this correctly here. Hold on, let me try and fix this. What if I do this? Ah, that's pretty good. We're getting there, getting to the ballpark here. Hope can see more in the future. And then we'll go here. Oh my god. Yeah, maybe I should do this in a separate window. Anyways, I'll fix it later. It's not a huge deal. But yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm just kind of fine-tuning my stream. I haven't been streaming in a long time here. So we're just hanging out. You know what I'm saying? So guys, leave your questions in the chat if you got them. Give me suggestions for the stream. Tell me what to name the stream to. Rename the stream, etc. It seems as though I've succeeded in my most recent plan here to display this on the DOM, which is working quite well. So if I remove this, 1 second. So I set the text. Let's remove the value label. So what we're essentially seeing again here, you see these 2 little green labels on the DOM. All they're showing me is basically where 69% of the volume in the last 30 seconds has traded. And I just think that's a quick way of determining where the market is currently fairly valued or has been fairly valued. And I love Sierra Chart because I can do this kind of stuff on it, you know. Alright, give me 1 sec. I gotta refill my coffee. Let me make sure there's nothing PG-13 showing in the background here. Nothing. Okay, you got the flamingos. Alright, perfect. Ba-da-ba-bum. 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 So for any of you guys, the 5 people are here. Probably you don't even know what I'm gonna tell you about right now. But basically, if any of you guys watched the video I uploaded yesterday, you can see that I was exploring. I'm exploring study overlays on the DOM in Sierra Chart. So something really cool that you can do in Sierra Chart is you can overlay studies from other charts onto a chart or a DOM. And this is really interesting, and you can really become creative and do different things and display data in very creative ways on your charts to save screen space and to do different things like that. All right. So basically how you do it is in whatever chart DOM you're on in Sierra Charts, you use this study right here, which is called study/price overlay. And I think this is just so genius. Whoever did this, whoever came up with this. So you can see I can overlay other charts on top of my chart, which is just so great. So like if you want, you can overlay standard deviations in whatever time frame. So for example, here's how complex it can get. You see this range chart right here. Wait, I'm gonna make sure we're on the right screen here. Yeah, okay, we're on the right screen. Okay, you see the range chart on the right side of my screen. So in this chart, I have, for example, a standard deviation linear regression channel. Okay, there it is. I unhid it. You can see, there we go. It's showing a standard deviation of basically the last whatever time frame I have it set to. So basically what it's doing is it's calculating the average price over the specified number of bars. In this case, it's 21 bars. And these are range bars. Each one of these bars is 18 ticks of movement. Okay. And the standard deviation is calculating the average of that and one standard deviation above and one standard deviation below. Now, let's say, for example, these values here, I can display that on any other chart I wanted to. I can display them directly on my DOM if I want to. And that's what's really cool. So again, it's 21 bars there. Now, all I do is I go to the chart that I want to display it on. So I'll go to the studies of the chart I want to display it on, go to study price overlay, create it, add it. In this case, I've already added it here. And then you go to study to overlay, and you make sure here that you've selected the chart. In this case, it's this chart right here, NQ 4.5 ranges. You click there to get the right chart, and then you can go and get the indicator that's on that chart. And then when you click that and apply it, now it's going to be displayed on your DOM. But I think I have it hidden. Hold on. Yeah, it was hidden. There we go. Unhide it. And now you can see those pivots are now displayed on my actual DOM. So yeah, just great. Just fantastic. It's just super fantastic. We're 1 o'clock here, yeah. So this is a great time to just like hang out, work on chart books, talk with viewers. I don't normally trade after this time. It depends. Like we might see some movement around 2 o'clock, but I'm not sure I'll stick around to trade it. We'll see what happens. And I certainly won't be live streaming if I'm trading it. Because I found that live streaming definitely takes away my focus from trading. It depends, right? It definitely depends, but that's something I've realized, and it's just common sense. It's that when you're doing more than one thing at the same time, your brain is focusing on doing 2 things at once. Therefore, it's not totally focused on the one thing you're trying to do. So, you know, just common sense, I'm going to be less focused if I'm live streaming, looking at chat while I'm trading and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I give props to guys who live stream while trading, and maybe their trading style allows that. My trading style does not allow that, because I take trades that are like in and out in 5 seconds or less sometimes. It depends. It depends on the type of day. There's some days that favor momentum trading, and when there's those momentum scalps, they last 3 seconds sometimes. You scalp it right to the high of the 15-minute bar or something, and then you get the hell out of that shit. You don't want to be staying in that, because you got the late buyers that will buy it at the top. You got the late and you want to be out before the late ones get in. or while they're getting in, you want to be getting out. You know what I'm saying? Things like that for scalping keep me out of trouble. I don't even know who I'm talking to right now. I got 6 people watching this. Hope you guys are well, and don't forget to like the stream. And that's the end of the story. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to work on my chart books. So I've got a few chart books here, and actually what I need to do now quickly is I need to change something in this chart book. And while I do that, I am doing this. Hide the trade account. There we go. Next one. Menu. Hide the trade account. There we go. Okay. Hey, Quentin. Yeah, cheers, man. Wow. Your chart is amazing. Hey, Big Luca, man. What's happening, Mr.? Yeah, I traded well. You can see there's my P&L on the day. Up in the left corner. I had a few good trades. I didn't trade like extremely heavy, you know, just like took the scalps as they came in. Did what I had to do, did my business, and got the hell out. Only NQ, micros, that is, micro Qs. As always, it's all I ever look at, it's all I ever trade. I'll look at the Russell every now and then, but the Russell's kind of thin. So yeah, that's that could be a little bit problematic at times. So what I actually need to do here now is I need to configure another chart here, because I'm noticing sometimes it's a little bit tricky to switch around charts. So for example, you see this chart right here, it's a 15-minute chart. I use this sometimes and I look at one daily time frame. If I switch it to a daily, you can see that it goes there really quickly, but it also has all my 15-minute zones on it as well, which is kind of problematic. So now I'm going to switch this back to a 15, and you can see that it takes some time to load because I've chosen to load 100 days on this chart. And I don't think I need to load 100 days on this chart. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to duplicate this chart to another chart book. I mean to this chart book, that is. I'm going to duplicate this chart in particular. And I'm going to make this chart for a daily chart or 12-hour charts. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get rid of all these studies on here. So let's erase all non-text drawings on this chart. Let's go ahead and mute these session profiles because we don't need that. In fact, I'll get rid of the indicator completely. And I think that should be pretty solid. And now I'm going to change this to a 12-hour chart, and I'm going to load 100 days on it when it gets ready. Hey, Broke Boy, what's good? That's funny you have the Jigsaw Day Trader logo on your thing. Why do you have that? Hey, cheers. Thanks for supporting the channel, man. I appreciate that. It means a lot. It means a lot, my friends. So, it appears that we have successfully duplicated a chart. It sounds like I was imitating that guy from Axia Futures there. The I'm sorry, I don't know his name. He was in one video. He did a Sierra chart tutorial. So let's do a 1 daily here. That looks pretty fine. So now what we can see here. Member Broke Boy. Hey Vlad, what's going on, boy? So here we've got a daily level right here. Boom. Now let's see. If I switch this to a 12-hour, does it take forever? Yes, it does. That's freaking annoying. I don't like that it takes forever to switch to a 12-hour chart. because in Sierra chart, a 12-hour chart is not recognized as being a historical chart. It's still recognized as being an intraday chart. So yeah. So what I'm actually going to do, we'll keep this on, let's see here, I don't really need 1,000 days, but I guess that's fine. And then on this one, well, let's start clearing out some of these levels here. What some of these levels that are not relevant anymore from the morning session. Okay, so this is still relevant here, these 65s to these 80s, 15-minute chart. This is still pretty relevant. These 29s, I would say this is still pretty relevant. We're still pretty short term there. And I'm gonna cut out this. I'm gonna cut out a few of these. Now, I'm not too sure why my delete button is not working when to erase a drawing. And I think it has to do with the fact that I've hotkey delete to do something else. So I'm gonna work on that also. Yeah, if you guys have questions about anything, leave them in the chat. I'm more than happy to answer them at any moment. I'm gonna probably hang out here until about 2 o'clock or something. 2 o'clock, 2:30, and then I'll go eat lunch. I'll go eat some pasta, Italian style. So let's get rid of some of these lines. We've got too many lines on our charts. This is areas from yesterday. That's pretty relevant, although not as relevant as you would think right now. But anyways, we had a pretty nice move down today. We had some very nice volatility, I gotta say. And right now it has subdued. The volatility has subdued in the short term, which is normal. We're 1 p.m. here, 1:25 p.m. Eastern time. So as you can see, we've kind of slowly been starting to rotate through this kind of single print area, fill in some of the volume. But again, we're definitely into. There's definitely some resistance here. Bigger picture. And you see this type of market structure. This is always a little bit tricky. I've seen this a number of times where, especially in the last few months, we've seen this behavior in the S&P futures and the Nasdaq. And this is not financial advice. I'm just kind of giving you my own perspective, totally on what's been going on. But often we'll get these big trading ranges that last, many days in a row, and you'll get like multiple days where we open up in the prior day's range, and then all of a sudden you'll get one day where you'll get a head fake and then it just smashes through the whole range, kind of like what we saw today. And that basically indicates, like you can say, okay, there's support here, there's support here, support there. But if you zoom out, you start to see the pictures that, okay, we're in a big trading range and we've been in here for 5 days, and now all of a sudden, if the bears take control of this, well, the only support is really all the way at the other end of the trading range. And in this case, that's pretty much what we saw. The market pretty much tanked, and we saw a nice move down, and when we start to catch a bid once it really reached pretty much the other side of the whole entire trading range. Now we're kind of consolidating. So structurally here, there's not really much going on. We're still back in the range, and we're just consolidating back around these 600s. I would say this 600 area is pretty important for NASDAQ. If it can't get above it, there's a good chance it can probably spend more time rotating through this low volume area. Anyhow, I'm not really big on speculating on bigger picture type of trading, but you can see also, look at the daily chart level. It lines up right around with that 600 zone. So yeah. All right, so let's continue fixing these charts around. I'm gonna actually mute. What can I mute here? Can I mute this? This is not 2 SD. That's 1 SD, first of all. And this is 1.5. And I honestly don't even see the use in this at all. Having it on a daily chart, there's no use in having that there at all. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate that. That's a kind words, Mr. Broke Boy. But again, you know, honesty is, I don't know, man. Honest, I don't know. I don't know if I'm honest. Am I really honest? I mean, I just try and say what's on my mind, I guess. If you consider that being honest, then sure. But yeah, in the sense that I'm not trying to say, yo, check out this. It's the holy grail. Buy my thing. Buy my course. It's $1,000, and you know, whatever. I like helping traders, but at the same time, I won't give you guys my entire process, and I won't write it out for you on paper and mail it to you. I will not do that, unfortunately. But I don't mind sharing with you guys experiences and that kind of stuff. So that's where I'm at. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to disconnect from my data, and I'm going to connect. Whoops. We do not want to show this. We want to connect to this. Interactive brokers, connected, change the books. Action is not permitted in read-only mode. Well, I think I can get. Ah, cool. Hey guys, just give me 1 second here. Whoops. Okay, give me 1 second. Oh my god, I have to stop sharing sensitive information on this thing. Too many usernames, passwords, man, this is no good. Give me 1 second, I gotta mute the camera for a sec too. Still here, guys, don't worry. Just trying to do something. Trying to do something. Here we go. Come on, do it. What's the deal here? Face ID? Gotcha. That should have worked. Oh well, that's annoying. Alright, we're back. Screw it. We'll figure it out.
Check connection.
Alright, I saw some questions from you guys here. I'm gonna actually answer them in 1 second. Hold on. We're not ready yet. I wanna try and open a chart book and see if we can get some data. Open it. And it looks as though we have some data. It looks as though we have some data. Alright, guys. Make sure there's no sensitive data on the screen. That thing. This thing. Okay. All right, take a look. I'm taking a look now at this chart book I was making for the small exchange. Take a look at these products, guys. If you guys don't know what the small exchange is, you should definitely check it out. And I keep getting these messages because I'm only logged into read-only mode on my IB account. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, so the product that has been on my watch lately has been this one, and I'm going to check it out a little bit more, which is a futures contract they made that tracks MJ stocks. It's not trading a lot of volume right now, as you can see, but I feel like it would be a quick way to invest in marijuana stocks if you don't want to buy individual tickers. So I'm checking that out, and I think you guys should also check it out too. Let me see, let me see, let me see. All right. Questions now. Let's get to the questions. Quick question. I don't understand why you focus on the index and not on earnings. Okay. The reason I trade the reason myself and a lot of other traders focus on trade mainly on the indexes is because the volume and the liquidity is superior on the index futures. It's superior. It's fantastic. It's great. You have access to every tick. You can trade every tick. You can get out of trades. You can get in trades fast. Okay. That being said, just because they have superior liquidity and all that, it doesn't mean there's always going to be good trades. There's some days, like you guys have known in the summertime, where the market has been just purely garbage. Just pure garbage. And the key really is to just focus on where there's volatility, right? So I agree with you in the sense that why do you only focus on the index and not look at other stuff like stocks? It really depends. Go wherever the volatility is. Earnings, I don't know about earnings. I would never trade before earnings. Before an earnings call, I would never gamble before an earnings call. I've done that before in the past. I'm not that kind of trader. I don't like to play the volatility crush because I believe that institutions have the ability to manipulate prices after the market is closed in whichever way they want to. They will essentially move the price wherever they want to, wherever they need to, in their own capabilities. And if I was an institution with multiple millions of dollars at my disposal and I was an options market making firm, I would do it also. Okay? So that's why I don't engage in any kind of trading before any kind of earnings call or news call, but I do understand how traders trade after earnings. That makes a lot of sense. So that's it. Can you please check CRTD? Yeah, I can check it. My Sierra chart is still not configured to display stock data. That's my next plan. My next plan is to get a chart book going. Like there's one guy on YouTube, check him out. His name is Trade Your Plan. He has a pretty cool Sierra chart book where he can switch in his watch list any stock and whatnot. He's got the equities data going on. So that's kind of my plan, is to configure chart books to show equities data. But in the meantime here, what I'll do is I'll go on TradingView and look at it on TradingView, all right? So I'll open this in TradingView. Look at CRTD. What exchange is this trading on? Probably the NASDAQ. Well, this daily chart is nothing really to cry about. Coming off an up move and some consolidation the last 4 days in a row here. It appears that we've met up with some resistance here around this $3-4 area. That being said, it had been demanded, clearly demanded on this daily chart from around this $2.80 to this whatever it is here. Try and I like the magnet tool on this on TradingView for that $2.80 to $2.90 area. So that's basically, this is important for the bulls. So if you're long on this trade, you can stay long as this is in play here, in my opinion. If you're short on it and you're in profit, this is a good zone to get paid on. When, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. If you want to zoom in a little more, thing is with stocks, it's a little bit tricky, and especially when you have this kind of behavior on charts where you get these big pumps and dumps and then the thing just dies out. That's always a little bit tricky to deal with, and I'm sure you guys have known that. That's called a pump and dump, basically. So yeah, that's what I can tell you there. And yes, you are helpful, honest, 200%. I appreciate the kind words, Simon. Thanks. Sup, Chris? You definitely put me on Sierra chart. I really love the program. I personally feel that people who sell a product more than they actually trade may not be as good as they claim. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's a great topic because trading is not linear income. It's not consistent income, right? Selling something is, in a way, if it's marketed correctly, selling a product has a way of generating passive income without necessarily a lot of upfront risk. In trading, you need to put on risk to make money. So, you know, I totally understand that, and I totally understand why a lot of guys have courses and they sell courses. Maybe I'll do a course one day. I mean, I don't know, but right now, I'm not. You know, I'm not focused on that. That's not part of my focus. This channel is really, it's really what it is. You know, I'm just trying to make tutorial videos, trying to help out traders, and basically use my teaching abilities to get across ideas about trading and about the markets, about platforms, how to configure stuff, that kind of stuff, and that's it. The magnitude of the move are poor. Sure, you can do signs, but basically volatility is ADR or ATR. Yeah, Simon. Well, the thing is, when you're trading futures, we're not really going for huge moves, and especially for scalping, we're really not going for huge moves. A lot of times, I'm just trying to scalp the volatility. You know, I'm trying to scalp the average movement, and the rest is a runner. You know, and I think that's where a lot of traders get it wrong. A lot of people who get into trading, they're always seeking for these big movements, these big profits in the market, and that's where people get it wrong, because the majority of profits, I would say, are made from scalping the rotations, the average amount of movements on a day. If you get a type of day, kind of like a range day where we're moving around a lot, you know, there's tons of money to be made if you're just playing the ranges. We're not going for big moves, you know? And if you get big moves, that's what you call a runner. We don't bet to get big moves. So I would say a lot of traders are trying to go for big moves all the time, and that's why they end up giving back a ton of profits that they had, open profits. And also, that kind of behavior also allows traders to get used to staying in trades that are not so good, because they're used to, you know, letting it ride, so to say, even if the trade is not as good as they thought it would be, you know. So I'm really much a fan of keeping risk small and adding to trades that are working well, and I'm still trying to improve on this in my execution and everything, but it really depends on the type of day you're getting, the kind of volatility we're getting on the day, and everything. You know, contextually, there's so many things that play into how a session is trading and what we're likely to see. So like, there's a lot of little things, you know, a lot of pieces. Yes, reconnection successful. Thank you. We have made it. All right, what we got going on here? Thanks, Quentin. Appreciate it. Thanks, Manu. Appreciate it. Vlad says he just tries to trade against retail because they buy tops and they sell lows. Well, you know, that's subjective because there are certain types of days, and again, I don't know shit. I'm just speaking from experience here. There are certain types of trading conditions that favor selling lows and buying highs. And there are other types of trading conditions that do not favor that. So I would say it is very much subjective, and it depends on the kind of market and trading we're getting right now. My opinion only. Manu, here we go. He said he has a question. Why are there so few professional traders with a manual scalping approach? To be honest, I do not know. But what I think is real is that a lot of the best traders out there are not on social media, and they don't share stuff online. You know, they try and keep on the down low. Either involved with trading communities or just kind of really keeping it pretty low key. You know, we don't have guys from Goldman Sachs coming through and talking about how they scalped 3 ticks on the fucking S&P. So yeah, I don't really know, to be honest. But there's a few good interviews I watched on Chat with Traders that were pretty good. For manual traders, guys who are kind of on the low key. There was even one guy on Chat with Traders that he didn't want to disclose his actual name, but he was a manual trader, and you can tell this guy had experience because from the way he talked about trading and like how he thinks about it and things that he pointed out, you can tell this guy's been through the ringer a few times. So you know, yeah, I don't really know, and that's it. Market maker won't go 3 times risk, and if volatility doesn't go crazy, it mean reverts. You have to hold it up. Can you write easy language? I don't know what that means, John. This is true. This is true, sir. This is true as well. This is absolutely true. I do believe that there is an edge in being a manual trader. You have to understand your edge. If you understand different aspects of your edge and how they play together and where you have edge and where you don't have any edge, then you can manually trade fine. You know? It's all about, you know, working on your process, finding the little things that help you and putting them on your screen and get used to looking at them. Study your screen recordings and all that. But yeah, what Vlad says here is really true, because how they traded in the pits was a different game completely, man. Completely a different game. In a way, it was pretty much an easier game because they were just basically front-running orders and they had access to the orders before everybody else did. At least that's what I was able to understand. Cheers, man. Appreciate it. TradeStation Easy Language for systems and multi-chart Easy Language. They are basically the same. So I think you're talking about algorithmic trading or automated trading. No, I don't do any of that. Yeah. Okay, so this is a, can you configure a max loss per trade? No, you can't. You can't configure a setting. There is no setting in the platform that allows you to says that when you lose $100 it stops you out of the trade. No, it doesn't work like that. A lot of traders ask this, if you can do like a dollar amount stop or a maximum daily loss limit. Some brokers allow this. I've seen some brokers that allow this feature where you have like a maximum daily loss limit, then your account gets locked for the day. And honestly, early when I started trading, I thought of this kind of stuff as well, because I found that I was having days where I just wasn't able to control my risk. And now I realize that was just simply because I wasn't that good at trading in those times. I didn't know how to stop out of trades as well as I do now, you know. So it comes with experience and discipline, the discipline that you build, you know. Technically, you can trade without a stop consistently and make money. I've seen guys do it. But you have to have like this mental skill and this reflex to be able to hedge yourself or to stop out of the trade manually or scratch the trade manually, right? So it does require a large amount of discipline if you trade without a stop. Like I've seen that French guy do it, and he's a total monster. He'll go long on the NASDAQ and then he'll go short on the S&P to hedge himself, or vice versa. He'll be long on the Russell and offside, and he's buying the S&Ps to hedge himself, spreading, different kinds of stuff like that, you know. And then he'll be in and out of these spreads for a while, and then he'll find himself out of everything, and he made $1,000 or something. But that's just like pro stuff, you know. Totally different ball game. Do you bought a data feed for within TWS? Yeah, no, actually, no. I do not use market data from TWS, except for maybe options data and data from the small exchange because it's free. But what kind of data do you need? Stocks or futures or whatever? And I'll try and point you in the right direction. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. Kind words. Simon. Yes, I speak French. It's my second language. No, it's the guy I'm talking about is called Trading et Analyse. His name is Kevin Talk. Trading, I'll write it in the chat. I wonder if I could respond to you in the chat. Pin message? No. This guy. I know you use CQG for Sierra, but did you buy it additionally for TWS since you don't need a data feed to execute in TWS? Okay, so I don't use CQG anymore. I switched my provider to Rhythmic there. But CQG is fine. Actually, what I do use right now for market data is the Denali data from Sierra Chart. And it's very good. I found it to be superior to all the other data I've ever used. And I'm not just saying that. I'm saying that because it actually is. I found it to be very reliable. Since I started using it, you're talking about what, 2 weeks ago? I haven't had any glitches and whatnot, and I just find it to be very quick, very responsive. And I mean, I'm just blown away by Sierra Chart in general, so that's all I can say about that. My execution routing is through Rhythmic, but you can use CQG as well. Sierra Chart's working on their own routing service as well. That's something coming in the future. I might try it in the future. But my routing to Rhythmic is really quick. I think it's like 50 microseconds or something. Anyways, it's really damn fast. It's just stupidly fast. So yeah. What are we talking about here? And yeah, I think it's because CQG buy initially for T. Yeah, so I don't use any data from interactive brokers because their data is not live tick data. It's aggregated a couple times per second. How and why did you start trading? Oh, that's such a big question. I mean, I started over 3 years ago. I got into investing first, bought a few different stocks, Caterpillar. I made a profit because I bought it on the dip, and then I thought I was king shit. I thought I was king of the fucking show, and then I started getting into options. And even when there, I got lucky. I had one trade on Boeing. I bought some calls or some puts on some news or some shit. I made $2,000 in like fucking an hour or less, and I thought I was top of the shit. I thought I was king shit, right? And then I started buying more options and holding them. And then I learned the hard way. Holy shit, they decay with value, don't they? They decay with time. And then I learned the hard way. Then I tried, and then I started to get into scalping. And then I realized, crap, options are a little bit tricky to scalp because the bid and ask spreads get manipulated a lot, and there's not a lot of liquidity. So then I got into futures because I noticed there's a lot better liquidity there. And then I started getting into some really niche stuff and improving my methods, and here we are. And at the same time, I started this YouTube channel, which was dedicated more towards tutorial-based content. So I'm planning to keep that going because that is what people seem to appreciate. So that's what we do. Thanks, Marmar. Kind words. I appreciate that a lot. Funny photo too. Thanks, Bart. I appreciate the kind words. Is it possible to only show 2 decimals in the time and sales? Some of the transactions have 4 decimals, but that makes it very hard to read in the time and sales. So, in interactive broker software, there is no way to do this. I know exactly what you're talking about. For example, look at my price on the DOM. On my DOM here, you can see I have 600, right? 601. But the full number is actually 15,600. I've removed 2 of those numbers. That is possible in a third-party tool like Sierra Chart or Jigsaw or other ones. So if you do want to get more in detail with your order flow analysis, you probably need one of those tools. Thanks, John. Yeah, cheers, bro. I appreciate it. I think there's like a light music in the background, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. I'm gonna get some water real quick, guys. 1 second. Here, I'll just blast the music. Can I blast the music for you guys for like a second? Just blast it. Boom. Was poppin'. Was poppin' in the city, huh? All right, so we've been seeing this relief rally here ever since we've hit the lows here on the NASDAQ. And it appears that this 600 area is still in play. Now what I'm going to do here is actually reduce the amount of days that are being loaded into this chart to a maximum of, I don't know, 25. And as you can see, it loads a lot faster. So I've got a number of different charts here. This one's like a 1 minute chart to see like that basic price action, just to see those real, just pure candlestick bars. That's something I learned in my trading, is that, you know, as much as you can get into like crazy order flow analysis and just like only using the DOM, I got into that. I went through a phase like that. I realized that there is some advantage to just looking at a simple 1 minute candle chart, because you see what the average trader sees. And that's where I'm going to stop. Do you also trade crypto? I do not trade crypto, but I have looked at it quite a lot because it's kind of a popular thing that people look at in today's day and age, but I have not traded it. And quite frankly, I don't know if I ever would trade it. I find it's very thin in terms of liquidity. And I don't know anything about it from an investing standpoint. I know that Dogecoin is a total meme, but it's catchy. Bitcoin, I don't know about it on a fundamental level. A lot of people seem to say there's a very strong fundamental case for it. I have no clue if there is or isn't. But what I do have a clue about, and all of the other traders too, is that the liquidity is thin, and we certainly don't have access to high quality data and trading capabilities as you would on a traditional futures market, for example. Sierra Chart supports data from crypto exchanges. Here, let me show you. If I can get a chart book going here. I think it was this one, right? New DOMs. I'm going to let me disconnect from that data. Let's mute these desktop icons. Let's connect to SC data all services. And this should work here. So now we should see data from crypto. So this is what the DOM looks like for Dogecoin. And this is what the DOM looks like for BTC. Right here. So as you can see, look how thin it is. Look how thin Dogecoin is. It basically moves on nothing. Also, look at the quality of the data. It skips prices and stuff. This data is not very workable. Well, the profile just loaded there, but... So yeah, this data is, first of all, is not very workable, and the trading is not supported on Sierra Chart for crypto just yet. I know a guy who only buys Hex. He's been right for so long, long-term hodler. The advantage of crypto, fractalization of assets and Hayek money, limited supply as in ETH and BTC. I think Hex is a hoax, no hate. Haha. Yeah, I've heard of this kind of stuff. The limited supply thing. Again, I really don't know what to think. I'm actually gonna remove this column. Seems more reasonable. And also what we could do is turn off automatic sizing on those ask size, take off the automatic sizing. Try and make it you can't really make it that much smaller. But yeah, that's what the DOM looks like on for crypto. It's kind of garbage. Let's go back to what we had earlier, which was interactive brokers. Check connection. I'm gonna close price squawk as well. I do have to fix my chart books still. I don't know why it's saying wait to download historical. It's weird. Oh, I know why, because my IB thing is kind of messed up. I'm just gonna connect to Rhythmic. That'll be quick. Ah, there we go. It just had to fix the symbols to my other trading service, etc. Let's see what's happening here. Hey NASDAQ trader, what's going on, bro? Miss you too, bro. What's happening? A very known futures trader from Switzerland said one time you have to fall very low first so that you can then ascend high later. Sounds like fucking bipolar disorder. No, I understand though. Hard times make strong men. Is that what they say? Hey, take care, Manu. See you later, man. It's a shame that we don't have a DOM with aggregated data from several exchanges. Well, I can tell you one thing. In Sierra Chart, using kind of studies like price study overlay from other charts onto your DOM, this is possible. This would be possible to do. So it's just a matter of configuring it, I think. But I do think that this is possible to get going in Sierra Chart. It's just it's really crazy. Like when I started to learn about the overlay study on the DOM, overlay studies from other charts onto charts, other charts onto your DOMs and stuff. That's like really powerful. You can do a lot of stuff with that. Does TWS have continuous contract data for charting? I don't know. Probably it does. I think it does, yeah. TWS charting is bad though. You gotta know that. Ah, so we've definitely seen a bit of a spike in volatility here now in the NASDAQ. Quite interesting. And I'm not focused on the markets at all right now. I'm just looking at the chat here. I'm looking at you guys. I have not been focused on the markets. I will not trade the markets if I'm not totally focused on the markets. That's just my style. You know, I could fuck around and place a trade, but I don't want to do that. It's not my style at all. I'm on sim mode anyways. Just taking off sim mode just to... Yeah. But with Sierra, I can only have BitMEX and Binance for crypto, right? Well, let's go ahead and check. Why not? You go to... Well, let's just try any chart here. Find the symbol. One sec. He asked, what broker do you use at Sierra Chart? I use AMP Futures for futures trading, but it can connect to any broker almost. For stocks, I would use Interactive Brokers. For futures, I would use AMP Futures. Okay, so in order to see the crypto stuff, I need to connect to SC Data All Services again, which I'm too lazy to do it. But you can check on their website which data they support. They do support Binance. That's the one I was looking at before. And I don't know about BitMEX. I don't know about... I think they support Bitfinex as well. I recently got an email from another crypto service. Let me ask you guys. Have you ever heard of... Hold on. Have you ever heard of this? BitGet. That's the name of the company. That's the name of the exchange. I believe they're an exchange. BitGet. Have any of you guys heard of that before? If you've heard of it, let me know. If it's a scam, also let me know. And that's the end of that story there. I never used their charts, so I'm amazed how you know their charting package. I use TradeStation and multi-charts with IB data. I'm a retired trader. Yeah, man. Yeah, IB's charts are problematic. Crypto data, I think, is free with Ninja. Ever had unnecessary slippage when executing with AMP? No. Well, I mean, it happens. It could happen. It could happen that you get a slippage, but majority of time you won't get more than 1 or 2 ticks for NASDAQ. You know, 2 ticks seems like the standard for a stop order. If you get more than that, it's normally because you got caught in like some kind of a wash movement where multiple stops are triggered at the same time and yours, for whatever reason, is not the first. In that case, it could happen. It once happened to me where I got into a trade like that and I got something like, what, 7-8 ticks of slippage, and that was kind of rough. It was only on a 1 lot though, so it wasn't the end of the world, but it was basically a wash trade that had taken me out. I don't know how to call that. Basically a block trade that smashes many prices at once. Yeah. Do you still use Jigsaw, and is there an alternative to CR chart that's free? I kind of went away from Jigsaw for now, yeah. Because for a number of reasons. Why are you not trading on just price action? Because I've learned a few tools that help me in my trading, apart from just price action. Simple answer. Simple question, simple answer. Oh, what's going on over here now? Looks like we're getting a call. Forgot to take it off of airplane mode. Call him back after. Alright, here we're 2 p.m. guys. I might stick around. If you guys have any last questions, drop them in the chat. If not, I'm gonna probably take off and go eat some lunch. Some pasta, Italian style. And then go exercise and then play a gig tonight, that is. Let's look at some charts here. Really contextually, all the bulls really have is this. They have this 560 zone, which got pretty nicely run through. There's this 600 sort of pivot area here that the bulls have been able to regain. And in terms of resistance, well, it's all the way up here and right here actually. This 25 to 29 area is an important inflection zone. As you can see, the price just basically tagged it to the tick there. So we'll see how this session plays out. So far we've been rotating higher and higher and just basically trading through this entire low volume area. So earlier the session, this was a big low volume area. It was a big single print here actually, where we had come out and taken out the lows here. We auctioned here for a little, then we took out those lows and then started to rotate back up and then fill in this low volume area here. So right now I would say the market's pretty balanced, and there is a chance that it kind of gets caught up in this area as well and then rotates through another time. So that's something I would watch for if I was trading in the afternoon here today. Potential more rotations back through this area, but I mean, that's all I can really see. This is where the overnight resistance was. We're talking 665 here. What was it, around 4 a.m.? Yeah, we had 4 or 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock in the morning up until the open of the market. So actually that's where the market opened this morning, right around 670. We saw a slow sell off. Now we're coming back to this 630 area. So contextually, these are areas that I'm watching. You know, always important to stay on top of the context, guys. Context is important for informing your trading decisions. Make sure you have a good trade location and all that stuff. Let's see what's going on here. How often do you do these live streams? I don't know. I just started doing them again today. Right now is the first one in a while. I might do like a couple per week. Cheers, John. Appreciate that. Will I do TA requests? Yeah, you can send me a ticker. I'll check it out. They will fight this chop till the 9th. I think it starts, then let it roll over. But when it can sell off, December contract I think will be better trending. Interesting. Yeah, Tetris style fill profile action. Yeah. Could you share the resources you read / watch to learn how you watch order flow when you just started, since it's hard to find a mentor? That's really tricky, man, because like I could share with you exactly what I look at and what I look for. It's really actually simple. It's pretty simple, but I don't really share these things like publicly. I try not to like really go in super mega detail of exactly what I'm looking for, but even if I do, I find it would be pretty still hard to replicate exactly what I'm trying to look for. But in terms of resources, there's not a lot of good stuff out there, I'll be honest with you. Like, you can read a whole bunch of stuff, you can learn about courses, you can study the markets, but like what's really going to help you the most is record your screen and look at how the market is moving and study it. And also, at the same time as doing that, talk with experienced traders who trade the market that you want to trade, that trade it, that actually trade it, that have skin in the game with real money. They know what it is to take real risk, to manage their risk on a daily basis. Talk with experienced traders, Anybody can be your mentor, but it's also about if the mentor is right for you, because you could talk with a guy who's been trading for 15 years, yet he doesn't know how to fucking scalp rotations on NASDAQ, So if you're trying to scalp rotations, talk with someone who knows how to scalp rotations. Don't talk with someone who's like a fucking long-term investor, because they're not going to help you there, So like, it's really just a matter of like getting involved with the niche that you want to explore, Study what it is you want to study and focus on that. That's what I've done, and it's worked pretty well. I'm pretty good at reading the real time in the market that I read, Roblox and VIOT. Let's look at those real quick, and then I'm out of here. RBLX. Well, it's pretty tight on this daily chart, isn't it? Well, that's pretty obvious. This is pretty obvious. And short term, this is pretty obvious as well. So actually, really right now, this is pretty dead. This is a pretty dead looking market on this daily chart here. Especially how it's consolidated right now. And look at this spot in the profile, it's kind of missing. So, you know, this context right here really indicates that the market is in a longer term trading range. So theoretically, it would be smart to not buy options, to sell them maybe. And then if you get tested, hedge yourself. But I can definitely see on a ticker like this, looking at this structure, it does make sense to do something like an iron condor or something like that. But also be careful with that, because what I've noticed is the market loves to test areas. I saw this happen with the Russell actually the last month, where the Russell was in a big trading range. We can look at it. I don't have live data anymore for this, but look at this. I swear to you, the Russell was right in the middle of this range. And then it started to sell. Actually, no, it was, it might have been right here actually. So the Russell was a smack in the middle of this range. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sell-off days in a row until totally towards the bottom end of the entire range. So anyone who was short puts here was getting absolutely shithoused. And then, well, it caught a bid and then it started to rally back to the other end. So if they played the mean reverting trade, they would have made money there. But if you bought calls or puts longer term or even a few months out here and you've been holding them on the Russell, you've been getting shithoused. So it just goes to show you, just be careful if you're buying options and holding them. Not a good idea, especially if the market is in a longer term choppy structure. So that's one example right there. Roblox, you sent it to me. Let's see what else we got here. VIOT. Ooh, this one's pretty ugly. Okay. Well, I can see there was some price history here. Sorry, I'm so used to this Sierra chart hockey. There we go. So you're looking at about $4.50 there. As a potential area where we could be getting caught up at. I would say this daily chart is very ugly in many ways. Right now it's 569, give or take. That's your resistance on the daily chart. You have a bit of support down here on the daily chart up at $5. I would say if it loses the $5, you're looking down again at 4.5, maybe lower. And again, because of the lack of price history here and the trend down, there's a good chance that the trend down will continue from a technical standpoint. That is, from a technical standpoint, if it can get back above 569, maybe a chance for a squeeze up to this $6.50, fill in this sort of low volume area here. Again, that's just some market context for you. That's all I can see there. I'm just reading your context. I'm back. I've been trading for 4 years. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that you said that. Yeah, absolutely. Anthony Crudelli has a good YouTube channel. He talks about this kind of stuff. He said something like this, where he's always searching for his next mentor, the next guy he's going to have a conversation with that's going to help him to either improve his own process or see something that he didn't previously see from another perspective, potentially. So definitely important. Read Market Wizards. This is a big one, actually. So a lot of people have different opinions about this, and it really depends too. But I'm a believer in this also, is that when you've been trading for a long enough time and you have the ability to trade discretionary, you know your decision making abilities are probably I was totally messed up, sorry guys, I wasn't even on the right screen. This is it. Try to avoid paper trading. You need to be doing the real thing. Yeah. So if you've been trading for any amount of time, you probably know how to make good decisions. You probably know what it is to make good, decent decisions. You know, you're not a horrible decision maker, is what I'm trying to say, because you have some experience. You know how things move. You've had, you know, you've traded on maybe a few hundred days in your life. You know how things work, and you really need to be trading real money, man. Because if you're not feeling the things you need to feel when it comes to trading. You're not experiencing that kind of stress you're going to feel when you're actually engaging in that real risk taking, you know? You don't know what it feels like to get into a momentum trade and then the market rallies against you 3 points, and then you have to make that quick decision to scratch the trade or to give it an extra second to see if that was just a quick pop or not. So really, like, there's little discretionary things that you have to be good at, and then anyways, there's nothing the same when it comes to putting on real risk or paper trading. It's really not the same at all, you know, because you're not going to react the same. When you're under pressure, you're going to be more inclined to cut trades faster when you shouldn't be, etc. But again, there's nothing wrong with practicing, right? So if you've been having a bit of a rough day, a rough few days, and you're not really confident in your methods at all, then you should probably hit the demo and build back that confidence for a little bit at least. Because you need that confidence to trade. You need confidence in yourself. You need confidence in your methods and your ability to read the market. You need confidence in that. If you do not think that you're good at, if you can't see that you're clearly good at reading the market, then you need to work on that, you know? So like, I have certain ways of determining if I'm reading it properly or not, and it's just like a skill that I've developed over time, and it's like I'm kind of tired, I'm losing my voice here, but I think I'm gonna end on this. It's basically, you need to develop ways of reading the market's information and using that information to your advantage in determining if you're reading it properly or not, you know? And that's why it's always important to have a plan behind your trading, right? So you can have an idea about the market, you can have a plan, and now it's up to you to use the information that the market is giving you in real time to make changes to your plan, or to determine if your plan was correct or not. Is your read good or is your read off? You know what I'm saying? So you need to make these realizations in real time. Another thing I realized in regards to what I just said is that short-term trading requires a lot of focus, a lot of strong amounts of focus, high amounts of focus. And by design, us humans, we're not designed to focus constantly for a long period of time. And this goes to the Daniel Kahneman book there, where he talks about your decision-making brain discerning things, being more meticulous, you know, planning, your planning brain, system 2 he calls it. That part of your brain is not active by default, okay? And it's very taxing on you to be constantly focusing all the time. So what I found worked for me is to, number one, be aware of this, that focusing all the time is very taxing, and it's actually pretty much impossible to always be focusing on the level it requires you to focus to read the market efficiently in real time. So really simple, you know, make things simple, you know, just take a lot of breaks. And when you're on your break, you drop your focus completely, and you just like you're not focused on trading at all on your break. You're just like let loose, go outside, walk around, take a lot of deep breaths, and just kind of let loose completely. So that way, when you're ready for your next focusing session, you're gonna be there, you know? So bursts when it comes to the focusing. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna end it there, guys. I keep pressing the wrong hotkey because I'm tired. So James, that's a good question. I don't really let trades go against me by a lot. If you really want to know, it's really about maximum 3 points, but it depends on the volatility condition too. Exactly what John just said. So it depends on what the average volatility is. Normally, my maximum overshoot, my maximum area where I'll try to scratch a trade is a percentage of what the average volatility is. That's as simple as I can make it. Okay, this was good, bro. This one was good. This one was good, Vlad. I was watching his stream today. I always just pop in, just make sure, see if he's bag holding anything. Alright, guys. I'll catch you later, alright? Have yourselves a great day. Manage your risk. If you're trading these markets here today, wait for the optimal setups. I'll catch you later, alright? Take care.